time now for the Zack Martin Show. It's brought to you by Dr. Pepper, an official soft drink of the Dallas Cowboys. And Zack Martin joins us now up there at Sports Center at the Star. And a good afternoon, sir. How the heck are you?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
We're doing great, man. It sure looked like you guys were having a lot of fun there on Thanksgiving Day on TV. I know we were having a lot of fun watching.
You know, it was a blast. Anytime you can get after a rival like that on Thanksgiving, it's a pretty good time.
Now, did you do some talking yourself this time? They were feeling pretty good last year.
No, I'm not a big talker. I just kind of go about my business.
So what does it take to win 3 straight games by an average of 30 points, man? You just pasted 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, really, I don't think the score is super indicative of how the game went. I mean, it was a pretty tight game there into the fourth quarter, and then, when we open the floodgates, they open, and obviously, touchdown, defense gets a couple turnover on down, score on those, and then obviously Bland setting that record and getting that defensive touchdown kind of blew it out of the water.
Hey, Zach, I want to say it was absolute football intelligence of you jumping off sides in order for Ferguson to get that big completion down the middle of the field. I think that was a great.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't love that play, and I knew what we were getting to.
Yeah,
next,
you're thinking like, okay, it's going to be a run to my left. I don't know if I can quite get across here and make this cutoff block.
It's our guy right there.
But I know I can pass set and like keep this guy on the line of scrimmage, and we can complete one for 30 some odd yards.
100%. Yeah.
So football intelligence is really, really high with you. I'm going to say congratulations on that.
I appreciate it.
Hey, also too, I was going to ask you about the screen. What makes a good screen team?
Man.
Because your block was the one that got that thing going. I mean, what are you thinking about? Like, are you worried about those guys? They can't chop you now on the outside.
They can't chop you, but they can kind of go low without it making it look like a chop. So you got to go low too. But the biggest thing is just the timing.
Right. Boy, that was a beautiful one.
If you can stay in phase with the back, and you got to make it look like it's a normal pass. These defensive linemen are getting so good at reading.
Sure.
I remember we had one. I forget who it was against earlier in the year. And the D lineman didn't rush at all, and I released, and he was kind of on my hip, and he's like, "You don't set like that." So you got to make it look real for it to work.
How tough is that? Okay, so you mentioned he says that to you. Have you noticed, or do you have coaches ever when you're going back and watching film, like, okay, maybe I'm giving some tells here, and then you have to go back and kind of critique that?
Yeah, I think it comes back to the timing aspect of it, right? Like if you just set and real quick try to slip it, the D linemen are like, okay, well. There's no way he's just gonna let me run up the B gap there. So you gotta make him feel like it's a real rush, and then almost lose him like you're getting beat on a rush, and then fall into phase.
Zach, when did in phase start being used as a way to describe things? And does that mean basically shadowing a guy? No, I've been hearing it the last couple of years, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what exactly in phase means.
I just went with it too, but I can't tell you what it means.
Thank you.
Yeah, in phase, like when I release, at the same time the back, he on a screen usually he's got some kind of fake chip, kind of like he's going through the line, and then he whips his head around for the ball. So if I can get in phases, if I can get out in front of him at the same time that he's releasing for the football. That's what we're looking for.
That's beautiful. And what was your reaction when Deron Bland went in like that? What was your view like?
I was all over by the O-line section, but I went running down the sideline, man. That was pretty cool to see and pretty cool to be a part of. And I think the coolest part of this one is some of his other ones have been picked, no one in front of him,
straight
kind
shot.
of a walk off.
Yeah.
He was not going to be denied. He knew he wanted to get that record and got himself in the end zone. That was pretty cool.
I mean, he's got it all. He's jumping routes, he's got the hands, and he's got the jukes. It's like I don't know. This guy's special at what he does. He's got everything.
Yeah, man, and he's a great example for young players too. I think, in my opinion, he just comes to work every day and puts in the time, and not a huge talker. He just goes out there and does his job every play, and it's great to see someone like that. Their work pay off.
So we saw you got a rest day off from practice. Are you getting the Tyron Smith treatment now where you're such a badass? We just want to keep you healthy?
I don't think I got the full treatment. I think, just this stretch here, this three games in whatever it is, 12 days or whatever the number is. It's it's a difficult stretch on the body, obviously. And, we know Seattle's got the same schedule. So we're both going through it, but just trying to stay as fresh and healthy as I can.
I don't think fans really realize how tough that really is. So we thank you for what you're doing and staying healthy out there. I do want to ask you about Terence Steele, your running mate.
Yep.
Because it seems like Terence is getting back to that big, nasty form prior to the injury. What have you noticed from him the last couple of games?
Yeah, he's been – I mean, we're getting him out in space and run. I mean, he runs so well in space and really can close that distance. I mean, you talked about the defensive backs not being able to cut anymore. You know, when you're 175 pounds, having a 6'6", 330-pound guy running full speed at you is not ideal. So, you know, anytime he can be, you know, get in space and show his athleticism and obviously his physicality out there is huge for us.
Zach, the perimeter game has been something you guys have kind of gone to here the last couple of weeks. And you mentioned about getting out in space and all that. By design, or is it just because of what Washington presented with those defensive tackles?
Yeah, I think, you know, we've done it a little bit more the last few games, and you know, it's been good for us. So I think the coaches are starting to work it into, you know, to each game plan. But to your point there, obviously playing Washington, their strength of that defense is those two guys inside, and you know, they obviously saw something where you get to the ball to the perimeter and get our tackles out there running.
It's Zack Martin with us. I'm looking at the Tony Pollard rushing stats in last 25 carries over 2 games. 5.5 an attempt. Is that play design, execution, timing? What all goes into the success you're getting there?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. I mean, Tony's obviously been a great runner for us for years now, and it's just you know, when you got a back like him and really Rico also, we know if we can get on our guys and cover them up at the line of scrimmage and get up to the second level, those guys are going to make plays. And you know, obviously Tony has really been hitting it these last couple weeks, and it's been fun to watch.
It's another Thursday game with Seattle. Obviously, they got Leonard Williams. They traded for him. You know him pretty well with his time with the Giants, Jaron Reed along that defensive line. What stood out to you about prepping for Seattle?
Yeah, they've got guys at each level of their defense who are playmakers, and I think they made a great addition there with Leonard. You know, I got a lot of respect for him. I think he plays the game the right way, and you know, obviously Reed in there in the middle, and then Bobby Wagner still doing his thing. So it's going to be a great test for us. You know, they can move up front. Obviously added Leonard for a little more beef, and then obviously Wagner's you know, running, making plays, and then Jamal Adams is always you got to kind of have eyes on him wherever he's at. They blitz him a lot. They kind of use him all over. So it's going to be a great matchup for us and a good test.
Hey, Zach, our Zach here in the station, his top 10 list was the best leftover food items.
It was, yep.
Okay. And so we're thinking like pizzas and things like that. Does Zack Martin have something that was like one of his favorite go-to leftover item?
Leftovers. Let's see here.
Were you a cold cheeseburger guy the next day, bag of burgers?
No. I mean, speaking of, we just got done with Thanksgiving. I mean, I actually like the Thanksgiving ham and turkey as leftovers more than on the actual day. You know, get you a cold ham and cheese, ham and turkey cheese with the rolls.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Makes it great. Makes a better sandwich probably than an entree, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
I knew, because you told us you weren't that into the Thanksgiving.
No, I'm not.
You guys are savages.
Thank you.
It did upset me a little bit.
you.
So you were getting into those turkey legs that were in the Salvation Army bowls.
No, I did have a little bite. Dak guilted me into having a little bite there on the sideline, but I don't know where those came from, how long they've been in there.
Yeah.
Fergie was talking about before the game, like, hey, I got turkey legs coming for the kettles. I'm like, I don't want part of that.
Now, were you ready to go in and get it yourself if you got a fumble or a ball or something like that in a blowout?
You know, people ask me that. Those kettles are higher off the ground than you think.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I almost think I would have done the old try to throw the belly up on the brim there and kind of
like
roll into it. Yeah.
Like a toddler.
They get the walrus to jump up for a fish.
Just gonna plank on this.
It's Zack Martin here with you on the Fan. Do you think the Eagles are more lucky or good?
I think they're good. Yeah.
They're getting pretty lucky, aren't they? That's what Cowboys fans
Good
want
job
to
of
hear.
sneaking that question in.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, we're playing the Seahawks, all right?
Yeah, we're playing the Seahawks.
That's right. No looking ahead here. Okay.
Did I just burst your bubble there?
Well, I was kind of hoping to dig in there a little bit. I mean, a lot of the analytics aren't saying they should be the only one-loss team in the NFL, but they find a way to pull it out in the fourth quarter, Zach, and it's getting frustrating.
Well, you know what analytics I like is the win and loss. Analytics.
Oh, here we go. I like this.
That's what I'm looking for.
That'll burst Eric Chiafalo's bubble, no doubt about it. Now, did you avoid getting pulled over by the police on your way to the game?
I did. I actually, I've had a thing going. I drive to the game with Cooper Rush because I had some family in town. My wife set up this Sprinter van for the way home, so I've been tagging along with Cooper, letting him take the risks before the game.
Smart move. Veteran play.
Does he play decent music in the car, or do you have to talk?
We have a nice little. We listen to a little country and just kind of BS a little bit on the way to the game. Talk about maybe the some of the college games before, and
So he's like your Travis Frederick replacement now?
Yeah, he's my ride to the stadium now. So I guilted him to going a little earlier, and he seemed to be all right with that.
I'll tell you what. Last week, Zach, I think I heard your story 3 times. It was like everybody, everybody started picking it up. Like Brad Shamman then played it during the game.
I know you guys got some listeners, man. Everyone was listening.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Hey, how's Trav doing though?
He's doing great. He was down. He was down here a couple weeks ago for the Giants game, I believe. Got to spend some time with him. He stayed at the house with his family, and it was great to see him.
That's awesome, man. It's always good to hear about it. You guys were so great together. Okay, so for you this off weekend, did you get out there and go to any games or do anything cool? You have a Martin family football game in the backyard. How did we pass the extra time off?
We didn't have a family football game. My whole family was in town, my 2 brothers and their wives, kids, and so we had a full house. We just kind of hung out, watched some the Black Friday game was a nice nice addition to pass the time there on Friday.
So we're in on the Black Friday game. On Sunday, with a rare Sunday off, did you get into the red zone, or how do you consume Sunday?
Well, Sunday was our Wednesday. So
you had to still work.
So we were working. We got home. I got home probably with about 8 minutes to go in the third quarter of that Bills-Eagles game.
Okay, you say you got a lot of people hanging out at the house. Where's your patience level? I mean, is there times when you kind of like walk into the kitchen and talk to the missus and say, okay, we need to kind of get things organized here?
She knows the deal. I'll just kind of I'll entertain a little bit, and then I'll disappear and head to the room and catch a snooze. I go. Hey, I separate myself. I go all the way to the room and say, I'll be down in a couple hours.
Got to get some recovery going on here.
I'm going to the men's room. I'll be right back. And then 3 hours later, you show back up.
All right, I thought you were going to the bathroom.
Mine definitely.
Well, I did go to the bathroom. That was
3 hours ago.
It was before and after.
Right.
Zach, speaking of Black Friday game, I was thinking maybe the NFL could create a more rotating schedule. What do you think the players would think of that if you were like Thursday and the next week Friday and then the next week Wednesday, and it kind of gets games on every night for us?
I mean, geez, is there not enough games already? I mean, we got
not for Dawson.
Can I just play
I know
Sundays,
the Saturday games are coming up too, so then we're gonna have 4 days of the week.
It's glorious.
The Thursday it is what it is, but at least everyone knows what day it's going to be so they can plan accordingly.
So you've been on this gauntlet. Now you're going to get the Thursday night game, then you'll finally get a little mini bye. What's the go-to as soon as you're done with that Thursday night game? Is it just a massive deep sigh and I'm heading straight to bed?
Yeah, relax a little bit again. I got a few buddies from college coming down, so probably just hang with them this week and go to dinner, relax a little bit, catch the games this weekend.
Do your buddies expect you to always pick up the check?
They're usually pretty good about it. I mean, I usually do, but they're pretty good about offering.
Are they?
It's more about the offer than the actual paying.
Is there a place you guys always go to now when they come in town that they love? They're like, Zach, we got to make sure we go back here.
No, we kind of rotate. We kind of just try to go to places they haven't been. They come down every year, so try to hit different spots.
Do they even offer? I mean, seriously, because I'm not going to lie to you, Zach. I was with Brett Favre, and Favre, it was, when I was with him in Green Bay, I had to pick up the check like 3 different times of us having going out and having dinners and stuff. And I was just a scout.
Yeah.
I was just a stupid scout. And here's this guy, quarterback of a team, and he didn't even offer. He didn't even reach into his pocket. I didn't know if your buddies are like that,
No, I mean they're honestly they're pretty good about it. Yeah. And my wife is you know, she's on top of it too.
There
with,
you go.
you know, getting on them if they don't. So
I heard Brett likes spending other people's money anyway.
Yeah.
Ouch.
zing.
I walked right into that with the 2x4 between the eyes. Yeah.
Hey, did you see Jason Garrett on TV last night?
I did see him. He got the call up.
Pretty good.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I watch all the Notre Dame games, so I've been,
Yeah.
you know, I've heard him all year. I think he does a nice job.
9-3. What was your assessment of the Irish season?
You know, it's tough. The 9-3 is solid. I mean, 10 wins at Notre Dame is kind of always the
Benchmark, yeah.
special number there, because then you're kind of, you know, guaranteed to play in the New Year's Six and, you know, have a shot at the playoffs. So, but yeah, I mean, not a bad year. They should get you know, a decent bowl game. You know, everyone like the Cowboys, everyone wants Notre Dame to play in their bowl game, so they should have a decent pick at a bowl game.
Did you ever play against Pete Carroll in college?
I was a red shirt. His last year at SC was my red shirt year, and they beat us bad at Notre Dame.
What do you think of him as a coach? Is there anything unique about a game with Pete?
I mean, he's great. He's good. He wins everywhere he's been. I mean, I know USC hasn't been the same since he left.
True.
That's true.
And then obviously his success there in Seattle over, you know, he's been there, probably
13 years?
Yeah, 12, 13 years. So, I mean, to be a head coach at a place for that long, you know, he's doing something right there.
Right on, Will. Tear his ass up for us.
We love you, buddy.
Thanks, Zach.
All right. See you guys.